So I'm going to do a little video on getting the front arms out of a critter when you're skinning it. This was one of the things that I struggled the most with when I first started trapping, and I watched a ton of videos, and whenever someone got to this part, they just flew right through it, and you see their fingers come in, strip the arm out, and they're done. But whenever I got to it, it would take me half hour, 45 minutes to get these legs out. So if I'm not claiming to be a professional on this by any stretch, but just through the learning curve of doing it, I've gotten a lot faster, and I want to kind of just pass that on of how I do it. And as far as the whole process, if you want to watch some really, really good videos on skinning and fur handling, Coon Creek Outdoors and Boss of the Swamp are two really good ones. But I want to touch just on this, basically on the shoulder part. This is just a raccoon. It's not a very big one, but what I've done is I've basically skinned it down to where I start to feel the arm. This is the front arm in it. So the next thing I'm going to do is get as much pressure on to get right down over the top of the shoulder. And what that's going to do is allow that front arm to come out. Once we get through that muscle, and that's important to know, you can cut through that without cutting the hide. You can come in with your fingers right here on the brisket and push down. That's going to free you up all the way to your neck. And that's one of those things where I was trying to figure out how to get my finger underneath into their armpit, and you can't because all of that's in there. So you clear that all out, come back over the top with your knife, and you start to free up that arm. And that point, usually it loosens up the back part of your critter. Like I said, this is a raccoon. And this is pretty universal for all animals. The only exception, in my opinion, is possums, which have very, very thin skin, and you guys got to be very careful. So it starts to expose your front part of your shoulders, and this is usually at the part where they really fly through and just pull those front arms out. So what I'm going to do is kind of slow this down a little bit. If you lift up on both arms, and once you get this down, you don't have to go through these as much. This will show it better. So you got your elbow joint right there. You can also see if you just push down here with your finger, that's going to free it up. So you can start to see light through there. Come back through with your thumb. You're going to poke your hole through there. Adjust it down just a little bit here. And then once you got your hole through there, you're going to run your thumb towards the body part, which will loosen it up. And then from here you just pull straight down. And that arm will come right out. I take the front feet off, which will help get them out a little bit cleaner too. Okay, so we're coming around to the other side. Same thing. I start on the inside, working that membrane. And once you do a bunch of these, this is the part, like I said, you'll fly right through it. But if you haven't done very many of them, this can be a real battle. Okay, same thing. Got my thumb through, pushing towards the neck, and then you're going to pull down. Sometimes you end up having to come in behind this. No sense giving yourself a hernia pulling on that. And that front leg will just come out. So that's pretty much universal for all critters. Some of them are easier than others, but that's the long and short of getting those front legs out. And once you get a whole bunch of them under your belt, that will take all of 20 seconds instead of several minutes or hours. So anyway, hope it helps. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good one.